bloodsuckers.
As you walk through the valley of the shadow of hell,
Join us!
you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil.
We have such sights to show you.
A veil that's beyond our own comprehension.
I'm just gonna bash your brains.
Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void
Horror Podcast.
We got Starlight coming down right now to get some dollar bills from those lucky ladies and gentlemen. I'm just kidding. Sorry, guys.
You're overdoing it a little bit on the...
I think I missed my calling. I should have been a strip club DJ.
Well, you still can't be.
I know. Dreams can happen, guys. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I've known actually several people who've done that, and they make a pretty good living.
Right.
Especially if they're good.
Maybe you should do it.
No, I'm good with that. Thanks.
But you have the voice for a strip club DJ.
I also have a voice for a radio DJ.
Well, go do that.
Or a podcaster. How about that?
Well, you do that, kind of.
So you just want me to go out and see naked ladies all the time?
No, I want you to go and get those naked ladies' money.
Or do you want me to go to the one with the guys? Because I could,
Oh, you would be awesome at that.
Be like, come and get your helicopter, gentlemen and ladies. Come on down. Welcome to Dick's Cabaret.
Okay. Going a little bit too overboard.
Sorry, I get into it, it's like a character. You get into it. Anyway, guys, what's up? Welcome back. It is episode 171. We're going to be doing Ridiculosaurs Volume 2.
Because we loved Volume 1 so much.
By popular demand, we were asked,
by popular demand of ourselves.
Yeah. Well, no, we just wanted to because we were really interested. But a lot of people were really encouraging of it, so that's good to hear.
Yeah, that's good.
Which we got something we want to ask you by the end of this episode that we need you guys to chime in on if we're going to continue this series because it does go further, we found out.
It goes further.
I'll explain that later, so you're going to want to stick around to the end because you always do, right? Right?
I don't.
Oh. I'm just kidding. Anyway, guys, welcome back. We got a brand new episode for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing Carnosaur 3 and...
Carnosaur 2.
Oh, whoops.
I know, you should leave it in. You should just leave it in.
Whatever. Carnosaur 2.
Carnosaur 3.
Carnosaur 3 Primal Species.
Oh, yeah. Primal Species. Which is, yeah.
That's technically, it was almost called just Primal Species. It wasn't even, we'll get into that. I know.
Okay.
I want to just gush, okay, about all the trivia I look up. So, but anyway, guys, yeah, more dinosaurs on the prowl, tearing people limb from limb. So you're going to want to stick around for that. We're going to break down these movies and what we thought of them, and then give you an order from 1 to 3, the movies in order from 1 to 3, because if you haven't listened to the episode before this, it's Tammy and the T-Rex and Carnosaur, the first movie. So you might want to check that out and then come back and listen to this if you want. I don't think you're really spoiling anything.
No.
I don't think these movies are spoiler scary.
No, they're not at all.
So you could probably just listen to this because really these are just going for the ride,
right?
More than it is anything. So, but yeah. So, do we have anything cool happen this week that we can share with them, or
no?
Our lives are void of fun.
I went to work.
Oh, great!
I took the dog to the vet.
Neat.
Dog is sick.
Awesome.
I am worried though because there's a lot of
coronavirus going around.
There's a lot of coronavirus, and there's a lot of people in the Phoenix area who are killing their children.
Oh, well,
and it's kind of bothering me, but okay, I'm just going to shut up.
Happy note, guys. On a happy note, people are killing their children.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, sorry.
Guys, if you guys don't know, Arizona has some of the weirdest crime. Like, ever since I moved here, I've heard of, like, fucking crazy stories of people, like, talking about all these crazy murders and stuff. Like, one of the first stories I heard when I moved out here to Cave Creek, Arizona, which is not where I live now, but in Cave Creek, some of my friends up there were like, yeah, man, we have really weird crime. Not a lot of it, just a lot of weird crime.
Right.
And I'm like, really? And they were like, yeah, there was this one time where this guy thought this family was vampires. So he like torched the place, like firebombed it.
I remember that.
And then shotgun shot everybody as they were running out.
Right.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
It's meth. Meth makes you insane.
Yeah, it makes you superhero. Yay! Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Too.
What, did he think he was Van Helsing?
But
like,
the things that happen here, they happen in waves, too. It's really weird, because if you get, like, a wrong way driver on the freeway, it's not just one. It's 30. Like, not at the same time, but...
Yeah, I was like, what?
Like, over, like, a course of a few months, it's like all of a sudden, like, there's just this phenomenon.
I don't know.
Something like a phenomenon. I don't know either. It's just weird.
We're just a couple of stone throws away from Florida. Like, no offense to any of our friends in Florida, but as you guys know, and I live there, I know that there's a lot of weird crime
there,
too.
Yeah.
A lot of weird, like, car accidents, and like driving in Arizona and Florida are very similar. Actually, the housing design in both of these places are very similar. Like, so like when I lived in Florida and then moved to Arizona, like from Maryland or whatever, because I've moved around a lot. It's very similar, except we don't get as much rain out here.
Right.
So, but anyway. Yay. So, you got any more enlightening tidbits you want to share?
I can keep going. There's some weird conspiracies I got into this week.
Oh, really? Well, you know, I'm trying to think. We had something happen recently that I just can't think of that is kind of a big deal. Oh, and I know we mentioned this last episode, but I'm really happy because I didn't know that when you hit 1K subscriptions on YouTube that you can now make posts.
Oh.
So I got that now, so I can actually like talk to you guys instead of having to make a video, you know. But you guys should be following our YouTube. You should be following all of our social media because, you know, it's just a nice thing to do. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, just kill everybody, Alex. Just guilt them into...
What are you doing? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. But other than that, yeah, it's just been a regular week. We've been pounding movies and watching Cops and all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I think it might be that time.
What time is it?
Horrorshots! All right, we got a fucking doozy for you guys today.
Wait, hold on. I gotta go get the chocolate.
Well, why don't you go get it? I'll talk to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, get out of here. I can handle it. So, Christina is going to grab our shot ingredients. Well, we have most of the ingredients here, but she's going to grab a special ingredient that involves chocolate. Chocolate. So... she's going to bring it very carefully here because it's very thin, and I hope that when we pour this shot, it doesn't melt it to fuck because we're using chocolate as a sort of cup. And I've not had the best experiences with these that we've done in the past. Anyway, guys, so we got a shot for you today based off the movie Carnosaur 3. We picked it for that one because it just...
and we're actually going to take it this time.
Yeah, we're actually going to take it, guys.
Yeah.
We used to do it all the time, but then we realized that we're broke and, yeah, life. So we figured, you know, maybe...
and I don't drink.
Right, I don't drink as much either. Yeah. So we were accumulating, like, all of this liquor and, like, stuff that we don't even use. So if you guys want to come hang out, watch movies or something. Anyway, so today's shot is based off of Carnosaur 3. We're calling this one a Dino Drool. We were thinking about calling it Dudes in a Suit, which I thought was kind of cute. Because, you know, we do have a nice little chocolate suit for them, you know?
Right.
But anyway, you can call it whatever you want, but it's called Dino Drool, so fucking deal with it.
Those dinos drool a lot in the movies, in both the movies.
Both of them, yeah. They look like semen.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
so let's take your semen shot.
So what is in a Dino Drool shot? Well, it's 1 ounce, and you're going to put this in a shaker, these two ingredients. You're going to take 1 ounce of Hypnotic and 1 ounce of ruby red grapefruit vodka, We're using Deep Eddy from Austin, but you can use any kind of grapefruit vodka. And then you're going to put that in a mixer, which we've already done. I've shaken it up. There's like 1 cube of ice in there because we've been sitting here for a while. It's like clink. And then you're going to shake that up. What we did is we have Mountain Dew to pour on top. You don't want to shake Mountain Dew in a shaker, by the way. Not that I need to tell you that, but it's just obvious.
You want to know why I picked the Mountain Dew?
Why? Because it's green?
No, because Bryan Cranston in that Mountain Dew commercial.
Oh my God.
That's why I picked
Sugar free. Everybody was so mad about that fucking commercial.
People were mad about it? I thought it was
they were
awesome.
like, oh no, why would they do that to The Shining?
Oh my.
And I'm like, it's just fun.
But it's a 30-second commercial. Who gives a shit? Like, it's funny.
I don't think anybody was mad, but I'm just saying, like.
Whatever. Anyway, back to the Carnosaurus shot.
Okay, so now I've taken this hollowed out, like, you know how you get the chocolate bunnies that have like 2 sections that go down the middle? Well, we got these weird chocolate egg-like things.
And they look like dinosaurs. That's why I picked them.
But they also have like floppy ears, but whatever. We're just calling them dinosaurs to deal with it. But anyway, we're going to pour our shot in the chocolate shell. So I made one for Christina. And I made one for myself. You're obviously going to shoot it. If you have this, if not, just take chocolate after the shot or something like that. Now, before you drink it.
Okay, hurry up. It's getting everywhere.
So then, after you pour, so you poured the Mountain Dew on top. You pour it in your shots or your chocolate if you have something that you can do that has chocolate like a shell or a cup. Then you say, stay calm. We'll be right back. And then, very condescending, by the way. And then shoot.
Stay calm. We'll be right back.
Stay calm. We'll be right back.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And then you gotta eat the chocolate.
Ew, you can taste the fucking grapefruit.
Wow, that's actually pretty good.
It tastes like grapefruit and Mountain Dew.
I ate the whole fucking egg. You know what it reminds me of? Those fruit-flavored candies that you get. The bouquet of fucking shit. Which, by the way, happy Valentine's Days to you guys, because we won't be... This isn't Valentine's Day, obviously, but it will be the week that this airs, so...
Right.
But anyway, yeah, so if you would like to try a Carnosaur 3 Dino Drool, all you have to do is go to longlivethavoid.com and check out our hashtag Horrorshots section now. That's it for Horrorshots. All right, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and finish up this drink and jump into our flesh and potatoes of Ridiculosaurs Volume 2.
Right now.
Ate too much sugar.
You gonna go into cardiac arrest, or you're all seizing up? I gotta stab a fucking.
You think that's fucking funny?
I gotta stab a fucking like a shot into your chest, like some fucking.
An ephedrine shot?
Anyway, so guys, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the first one in chronological order, of course, which would be Carnosaur 2. But before we do that, I'm gonna slam the rest of this drink because I'm gonna get saucy.
Great. Excited.
You ready?
Yeah,
Do you
ready.
want some more?
No, I don't want any more. Hell no.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Hell no. All right. While you're
Whoa.
doing that,
Wow.
I'm going to go through all the info on Carnosaur 2.
It's pretty good, by the way, guys. Delicious.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay, Carnosaur 2 is from 1995. A team of scientists go to a nuclear mining facility to investigate a possible meltdown and instead find a large amount of cloned dinosaurs.
Oh my God.
The tagline for this movie is "Back for another bite."
Oh God. So
This movie was directed by Louis Marino, who has done such wonderful movies as Radioactive and Bats from 1999.
Oh, I remember that. I haven't. We almost
You
bought
have
that
it?
the other
We
day.
did?
Yeah, remember we went to that secondhand store, the new one.
What the fuck?
The
Why did we buy
wall
it?
of movies. It was like whatever, but we couldn't find anything good because all they had was like shit nobody wanted. Like, and we
Oh.
found or was it Bats?
Oh, I don't know if it was this one, but I did watch the trailer and it looked amazing, so I would like to watch that.
Okay.
Carnosaur 2 was written by Michael Palmer, who has written such scripts as Watchers 3 from 1994, and that's it. All right.
I need to rewatch those. I watched all 3 because I think the first Watchers with like Corey Haim.
What is that movie about?
It's about like a creature. I can't remember. I think it's like part of his imagination, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But it's like Corey Haim. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Corey Haim.
Okay, so there's a lot of actors in this cast, so I'm just going to say a lot of them did just like, they're working actors, they were in a lot of TV, so I'm just going to quickly go through a few of them.
Do it.
And name what, the big stuff they're in that, I recognized. All right, John Savage, who plays Jack Reed. Now, he's actually he was in Tales from Halloween, that compilation. Mm-hmm. He was also in The Orphan Killer, The Anarchist Cookbook. He was in the Dark Angel TV series, and he's also been on episodes of like X-Files and Tales from the Crypt.
Okay.
Cliff DeYoung, who plays Major Tom McCord. He was a lead singer in a rock band called Clear Light from the late 60s.
Never heard of that, but I gotta look it up.
Yeah, and he toured with The Doors and The Who and like all these other big bands.
Interesting.
I thought that was really interesting. And he was also in The Craft. He played Mr. Bailey, the teacher.
Oh, okay.
And he was in Flight of the Navigator, and he was also in the TV series RoboCop, which I totally forgot there was a TV series.
Yeah, we have that actually.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
He also was in Tommy Knockers, the miniseries, and he was in Dr. Giggles.
We have that too. I really want to watch Tommy Knockers soon.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
it's about time for it.
Maybe we'll do that next. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, Don Stroyd, who plays Ben. He was in the original Amityville Horror.
Okay.
He was the father, the priest. He was also in License to Kill. Rick Dean, who played Monk. He actually passed away in 2006. He was also in Tales from the Hood. And he was also, I don't know if you know this, but he was in Carnosaur 3.
Yes, I did know that. I have some trivia on that.
Oh, I can't wait to hear because I see it was like a completely different character. So I can't
he's a
see
standout kind of character.
Right.
On both the movies.
He really is. Okay, also, Ryan Thomas Johnson, who plays Jesse. He was in The Lonely Astronaut, a TV series from 2014, and he's also a big music composer. Arabella Holtzbog. Pretty sure I said that right.
I don't think anybody would judge you for
Right.
not getting that right.
Okay, she plays Sarah. She was also in an episode of Tales from the Crypt and that Across the Universe movie from 2007.
Okay.
Miguel Nunez Jr., who plays Ed.
Right. Love him.
And I'm sure if you saw him, you recognize him. He was in The Return of the Living Dead.
Yep.
He was also in Street Fighter, and he was also in Friday the 13th, A New Beginning.
Yes. Yeah, I always remember him in there.
Right.
I wish he would have done more because he,
Yeah, me too. When I was trying to...
he's kind of a fan favorite, like if I would definitely, if I saw him at a convention, I would want to talk to him.
I wonder if he's done conventions.
I'm sure he has. I just haven't been to one.
Okay, so this was a direct-to-video release, so I couldn't find a budget on it. Could you?
No, neither of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, neither of them, exactly. So, Alex, what did you think of Carnosaur 2?
Well, Christina, I'm so glad that you asked. So this one, man, this one takes a long while before it gets juicy and gory, that's for sure.
Like an hour.
An hour, yeah.
At
a whole
least.
fucking hour
A whole
till we
fucking
get
hour.
something. I was pretty disappointed by that, but, mostly I just felt like the dialogue was kind of boring. Like, Miguel Nunez Jr. is good, although a bit stereotypical. But he's at least someone I like,
Right.
and I could even like Richard Dean, I guess too. His character was stand out because he's very, outspoken in his part. But it kind of winds down. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the other people are pretty meh as well. So
Sorry, I'm like,
What?
so it winds down from not winding up. There's nowhere to go.
The beginning of the movie is actually pretty interesting. Like I was like, oh, cool. They got like this whole sort of Blade 2, like interesting characters, special forces, that are going in to fight the fucking vampires. Only this is, dinosaurs. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
what they were trying to do. It's not that they were trying to borrow from fucking Blade 2 because it wasn't out yet when this movie was. But I just mean, that type of like strong characters that they were trying to go for. It didn't really hit it.
Right.
It's essentially a team of specialists that are hired by some businessman who has a site that is dealing with dinos, of course. When the site gets overtaken by them, they go down to investigate the problem and reclaim the base of operations, essentially. And the business guy knows more than he's telling everybody because he wants to get it like exterminated. So he hires these guys, which are all kind of like, I don't know. But this one's like a huge, stark difference from the first movie, which is way more fun and inadvertently good.
Right.
It pales in comparison, I think. It just doesn't get it does get kind of cool at the end, but by the time I felt like I'd pretty much gotten into it, I'd already given up on it.
Right.
That's the problem. Not even, enough cheesy dialogue that I was hoping for. Plus, the dinos, they changed up a bit, which I thought was a positive thing because they put them in suits, dudes in suits.
Right.
Instead of animatronics or hand puppets, which they did also use in this movie, by the way. But they opt for that dude in the suit, which I thought gave them more mobility and it kind of made it more, hey, they're in the room. It's not, even if they move stupid, at least it's better than trying to schmuck it up with some fucking garbage, like drawn on whatever style back in the day that it would have been because they didn't really have CGI that much.
Right.
I think one of the biggest forms of CGI back in the day was from Young Sherlock Holmes, where they have this scene where a knight jumps off a stained glass window into a church, and it was one of the most elaborate things that had ever been done on film for its time. And of course, obviously, like Jurassic Park and shit like that. But they used a lot of practical in this, obviously, because they can't afford shit like that.
Right.
It's just too bad that they cut away from all the cool moments, like that would have been good, that I would have liked to seen.
Right.
I'm sure that had to do with budgetary restraints, because we're not working with a lot of money here. Plus, this film is pretty derivative and has been called Jurassic Park exploitation at its finest, which it most definitely is.
Totally.
It's shameless.
Totally.
Which, it is, but that's also kind of why we want to watch this movie. So totally cool with me, Roger Corman is definitely no stranger to this kind of thing anyway, nor the, Cannon group, the cousins like Menahem Golan and Yoram Globus, who we watched that documentary of them about Cannon films.
Right.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one where they were just ripping off everybody.
Yeah, which was awesome, and how like they did it. And it's like, so there's this documentary called Electric Boogaloo, The Wild Untold Story of Cannon Films, and it's amazing. It's so amazing that because the cousins of Cannon who knew about this documentary coming out, because they tried to do like interviews with the guys, but they were like, no, we can do it better. And they made their own documentary in true Cannon style to beat this one to the punch.
Right.
Which is just amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. But anyway, if you guys haven't seen that, you should check it out. I still need to watch the Corman's World, because Corman and his wife did all the, a lot of these movies. The Carnosaur series is all about fucking Corman.
Uh-huh.
But he has a documentary called Corman's World, and there's also a new cult-tastic Tales from the Trenches with Roger and Julie Corman by Shout Factory TV, which you can actually sign up for a subscription, by the way, for $2.99 a month, which I think we should try out the 7-day trial when we're ready to watch that kind of thing. Uh-huh. Because there's like 12 episodes, and it seems really cool.
Oh, okay.
So, and I love Corman, and I love Cannon.
I know you do.
And I love all those kind of films from that time.
You do.
Plus, we got a 7-day trial, so we could probably suck up all those.
Squeeze it in 7 days.
Yeah. But anyway, you guys should check all that shit that I just mentioned out. But back to the Carnosaur 2 disappointing film that it was. When the gore comes, it's actually pretty cool. Like, obviously, there's some beheadings and appendages ripped off. There's one appendage ripped off scene that I fucking loved. It was probably one of the best in the franchise I've seen yet. But even a great scene like that with very impressive gore is not enough to save this film for me.
Right.
It's boring. I kind of just tuned out for this one, like heavily. I wasn't even able to keep my attention enough. So even with the 30 kill count that they have in the movie, by the way.
Oh, wow.
It didn't even feel like it.
No way. It didn't at all.
It felt bland. And it just turns away a lot from the kills, so that's probably why we don't realize it. But I honestly think this is just a below average attempt for me. I'd say this one's probably a 4 out of 10 for the so bad it's good straight to video 90s cheese that I always talk about. Maybe even less if I had more time to think about it. It just lacks to me in so many ways, but hopefully and maybe you guys will like it. If you're going to go down the Carnosaur fucking rabbit hole, you need to watch it anyway.
Right.
So you can decide for yourself. But honestly, I really just felt like when I gave the first Carnosaur a 7, this is like a 4 or lower.
Right.
So what about you though?
Oh my God. I was so excited to see this because the first Carnosaur movie changed my life.
Well, yeah, you called it better than Jurassic fucking Park.
It was so good.
I'd say.
So this was a real letdown and like a total disappointment. It was insanely boring. It was, and this movie was only like less than 90 minutes.
I don't know. I think both of them were like one hour.
This one felt like it was 3 fucking hours.
It did feel long.
It felt fucking long. And then when I was going through getting all the info for the movie, before we started doing this, I couldn't even remember what went on in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like so glad.
That's why I take notes because,
that's why I took detailed notes because I had to go through them again because I was like, what? Like who? Like who is this person?
Like you
And
can't even just take notes where it's like, oh, this happened, like in a short sentence.
Yeah, no.
You have to be as descriptive as possible because this one's so forgettable.
Yeah, it's so forgettable. Even the when you were talking about the kills and stuff, like the good savable parts of the movie. Sure. Yeah, it just doesn't even matter. Because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like some of the other movies we've watched recently, it's like I gotta wait around for shit to happen, and it's
well, and there's an entertainment factor. There's there's a couple of factors when it comes to scoring a movie for me and my personal taste. Some people just refuse that and they think you should just give it a score on what you thought. But I think it's appropriate to go, hey, this is a so bad it's good film, or this is just bad. Right. And just to give you, because you can't compare Carnosaur to fucking Hereditary, can you?
Oh, hell no.
So
the first Carnosaur you were talking
any
about?
of them. I'm just saying.
No way, you can't at all. You can't at all. It's a whole different level. But anyway, even the characters, like I couldn't even remember the characters, and then the characters were just like typical. There was the guy who was just the asshole. The guy with the authority, and of course he was an asshole to everybody. He had to get his way on the time, and everybody, and then there was the funny guy, and
that's the Rich Dean guy.
Yeah, the funny guy, the comedic, relief or whatever. But none of them matter. Yeah. Nothing about this movie matters.
Well, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's just not. It's just a letdown. It makes the number go down lower because of how good Carnosaur was.
Right. I don't even remember how this one ended. I was sitting there thinking.
I do. It was almost like the same thing as the first movie.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, they had a bigger bobcat and loader.
Oh, that's right. Because that scene was like 20 minutes.
Right.
It was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But anyway, 3 out of 10.
3? Okay. Well, I probably would give it a 3.5 at the lowest. Just because, like, I could watch it. I probably wouldn't watch it again, but I've seen so much worse.
But honestly, if we were going to start collecting this series on DVD or whatever, like, we would have to buy it.
Do you have $500? Because that's how much everything costs.
I know. But, if it ever got re-released or whatever, we would buy this just so we had it with the other.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, I have plenty of movies where it's just like another iteration of a sequel in a series I don't even like, but I have to have it. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
We've been collecting pretty good, though.
Yep.
So if we had to give it a score, it'd be a 3.25 between both of us.
Oh, okay.
If you think about it. So let's go over some of our scenes and some of the trivia that we have here. I got a little bit of trivia. So they used a lot of the same footage from the first Carnosaur film. It was used during parts of the forklift duel scene with the T-Rex.
That's why they did it again.
Yeah, didn't it feel a little familiar? Because it did to me.
Totally.
Like they said, including the scenes of impalement, which I personally totally noticed. I was like, God, this feels like the same movie, but also like what are they doing?
Right.
Like I kept thinking to myself, why? It's like a paled in comparison version of Carnosaur 1. So
yeah, because it was in the same area in Nevada,
right,
which makes sense because then the dinosaurs should migrate to wherever the next place. But the way the dinosaurs came about was completely different in this
they didn't
movie.
really, you can't tie these movies together.
No, it doesn't. And
But apparently,
that kind of sucks.
I have some information in the third movie
Oh, okay.
we'll talk about that might connect everything, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
For the next movie.
Okay.
So stick around, guys. But yeah, they used the same animatronic puppet for this as well. The robot apparently had frequently broken down and performed so poorly that its use was limited to only a few shots. Like, despite the budget constraints, Magical Media Industries, I should say, did manage to improve the robot T-Rex so that it could be used more extensively for the battle scene in which the dinosaur fights the forklift. However, the robot was still ill-suited to stunt work, such as the shots of the creature ramming the forklift, so the miniatures and the hand puppets were again used frequently, as in the first film, which you can totally tell.
Oh, totally tell.
It's like, have you ever thought about, like, when you watch those, like, gigantic dinosaurs or, like, Godzilla movies or whatever everything is, like, slowed down so that the monsters move really...
Right.
You know what I mean? Would it really be like that? Because it does kind of make sense, because you wouldn't think that a miniature moves so fast.
Right.
Like its movements move too fast. I don't know.
So they slow it down.
They didn't slow it down in this. It was just ramming its head into the forklift. I remember that.
That was annoying. And plus the quality of where we watched it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help.
But whatever. I mean, you can't rent it anywhere,
Right,
so you got to find it on YouTube.
Right.
Apparently, a Carnosaur is actually a large group of carnivorous dinosaurs rather than a species, which the title suggests. Plus, Sarah had also told me, and I looked into it a little bit more, Michael Crichton, who came up with Jurassic Park, named them raptors because he thought it sounded cool. So thank you, Sarah, for that bit. Also, velociraptors were roughly the size of a turkey, so considerably smaller than approximately 7 foot tall and about 180 pounds.
Wow. Turkeys are scary.
Yeah. The Deinonychus enterhoppus, from the original Carnosaur films, the creatures were the actual species, which could grow up to about 11 feet long.
Wow. That's long.
Just thought it'd be interesting to kind of point that out so people kind of knew what it was. But in the trailer, they also had like a lot of roars from like a T-Rex and shit like that. And they literally fucking stole it from the Jurassic Park film.
That's awesome.
It's funny. This is why I want to watch the cultastic Roger Corman thing.
Right.
Because it's like an episode and it's like, you know, a long episode.
Right.
So it's like there's so many movies that they've actually done that I would love to just like hear about all of it, you know? Plus it'd probably give us like more stuff to review because we'd be like, oh my God, I don't remember that movie. Let's watch that. So
depending on what the movie is.
So I think it's time to get into our scenes. This is probably going to be a slightly shorter episode than the other one. Although the next film, we got a lot of scenes that did stand out that made me laugh. So we'll probably talk about that one a little bit more in depth.
Right.
But do you have any scenes that stood out as early on in the film?
Early on?
Yeah. If not, I have some.
Maybe just one, but I think it was more mid. And it's probably one of your favorite scenes too. I forget which character it was, but he was like lying down. I don't know if he was dying or what. And then the dinosaur came up and he punched him and the dinosaur, and he was like, "It's on now, motherfucker."
Oh yeah, Nunez Jr.
Yeah. Was that him?
That was a really cool scene, actually. Moses.
That was.
He was like hacking into a terminal, and then he goes, "Woo, here it is."
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God. Plus, he's wearing like an Ankh. Did you notice that?
Yeah, well, it's so 1995.
Yeah, it's like a Prince Ankh, too. It's like not even a...
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad.
Yeah, it was.
But he's wearing the coolest outfit of anybody.
Yeah.
Like, and I like his character the most out of anybody in
Me
this
too.
film. Like
Me too.
even that other guy who's the businessman who is more recognizable than Nunez he's still Nunez is my favorite pick in this movie. So
totally.
but yeah, he fights the dino and it's like this brawl where he's like punching the dino and it doesn't like hurt you much apparently in this film. Like normally, like if they scratch you, your whole face is gone or something like that. Like, you know, it ain't no military dude fighting a werewolf and dog soldiers fight scene or anything, which is super cool. But it's okay.
Right.
But it is recognizable.
I wish he didn't die so early either. Oh shit, is that a spoiler?
I mean, we're in spoilers.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah, but he died like so early, and when he died, I remember being like, no,
I know.
it's going to suck.
It's like the best character's dead. Where is this movie headed? They chose that other guy who's like friends with the kid. For some reason, this fucking little prick kid who's like trying to get into dynamite somewhere in the beginning of the movie is like now his son or something. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. You know what I mean?
Oh, I must have missed him being his son.
No, it wasn't his son.
Oh,
he's
just acting
treating him like he's his son.
Okay.
Because he had a son before.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And it died. So now he's like his surrogate son, you know, like, and it's like, oh God, that's lame. And the guy's not, I mean, no offense to him, but the acting was really not good between them. The chemistry, so to speak. There was one scene that was pretty cool, I guess. I don't know. There's a dino breaks through the roof of the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like the hour mark, guys. This is like the biggest scene, by the way. The dino breaks through the roof of an elevator because they're, you know, they get taken all the way down to the bottom floor or something. I don't remember where it is.
It smashes down. They were going
No. We're getting confused with part 3.
Oh.
But,
whoops.
But yeah, like a dino breaks through the elevator roof, yanks the one chick up through the roof. Then,
okay.
And then chews her arm off, which it looks really cool because they got like, you can see through the gore. So it's like you can see it stretching in parts. So they had like it, you know, veiny and stuff, and it squirted all over the place. Although I didn't really believe her performance that it hurt her that bad.
She was just like,
honestly, anybody who got their fucking arm chewed off would be out like a fucking light.
Right.
Like, there's no way. You would go into shock. You would die. You know what I mean?
Is that my arm?
Yeah.
Oh no, here's my arm. It's underneath the suit.
She did act like that too. She was like, oh my God, wait. Oh, my arm's not there. What the fuck?
Where did it go?
Yeah. So then there's that scene where that guy who thinks this kid is like his son and he keeps treating him like his son. They like escape on this rope or something and try to climb up out of there. This is the part you pointed out in the movie. Where they're trying to escape, and for some reason Ben helps the kid. Ben is the guy who thinks the kid's his son. I think they call him Steve or something. Jesse, that's what it is. But they're trying to escape and they're climbing up and there's like a railing and there's like these steps, almost like it was built so that you could climb up to get up. And he's like, oh, I can't do it. And his foot's literally right there. And I'm like, dude, all you got to do is step on the step.
Step up. What are you doing?
But of course, he falls.
He lets go. And then he lands on a bed full of
pipes.
Styrofoam pipes.
Yeah.
It's completely obvious.
Well, they have to continue the story, so, you know, like that's the one thing. Do you remember the dynamite scene with McQueen and Monk?
No.
Like they have like, he's like, you two get out of here, and Monk's hurt, and then like businessman all of a sudden is not a shady businessman anymore.
So the asshole isn't an asshole. Now he's gonna be a fucking martyr. That pissed me off.
Yeah, that was dumb.
It was so
like,
stupid.
It was like unnecessary for him to die. Like Monk was like hurt, and then he like stands up for Monk, who they weren't getting along the whole time. They were like talking shit to each other the whole movie for an hour.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're best friends.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I guess we're gonna blow this motherfucker up. And it's like, what? You're just gonna waste your life like that? I wouldn't want anybody to die that didn't need to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so they pop.
They pop.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's, you know, nothing gory or anything.
I still wish one of the dinosaurs would have ate the asshole. You know, because it makes me think, okay, I don't mean to bring up Jurassic Park, but it was such a better movie than this. You know when the guy was sitting on the toilet, the asshole guy, wasn't he like sitting on a toilet and then the dinosaur ripped out? Was that Jeff Goldblum? Mm-hmm. I don't remember.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. But that was the scene where Jeff Goldblum, that was a big scene for Jeff Goldblum.
Right. And the bathroom thing went away and then he ate him on the toilet.
Yeah, got it.
I'm saying him. The dinosaur.
I just wish the little turd would have fallen out right then.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. It'd make this podcast so much more better.
I'm a child. I'm a fucking child. So, moving on, because there's really not that many great scenes. The big T-Rex dino battle at the end. He chews and swallows one of the rescuers' heads off because they come to the conclusion that the only way that they can get rescuers to come help them on this island or whatever it is to basically make the plant blow up and self-destruct to get a signal out to them to have rescue workers come pick everybody up. And so...
Because they wouldn't blow themselves up in the process.
Right.
At a nuclear facility.
I guess. Yeah. But he's like this rescue worker who comes in a helicopter. He gets swallowed by the fucking T-Rex, which I thought was kind of cool. That's a good part. Uh-huh. Like, but again...
I don't even remember.
Not salvaging this movie.
Right. I'm already done. Can we just move to the next movie?
Well, I did want to mention one more scene. They have this battle with the fucking bigger forklift sort of loader, whatever.
Oh, the one that lasted like a half an hour.
Yeah, for too long. And then he bips it in the face and knocks it back down into the fucking base. Uh-huh. And it falls down. I thought it was funny because it looks stupid. But yeah, I mean, you know, and then the kid comes out. He keeps trying to save the guy who's trying to make him his surrogate son and brings him out and they're about to leave. And that one guy who was in the rescuer ship looks really familiar. And I just can't think of it. He looked like somebody that is in bigger movies now. And I just can't think of his name. Yeah,
that rescue worker?
Yeah.
He did. But he did have one of those faces, like just
you know what he looked like?
Face.
He looked like Greg something or another. He used to be a TV show host and he's been in some fucking movies. Comedic actor / host.
Craig Ferguson?
Craig. Maybe you're right. Now you got me confused. No, not Craig Ferguson. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. It's just rather disappointing. I will say it again.
Boring.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. Like, it's not something you need to skip, I don't think. I think you should watch it if you're going to watch these.
I think you skip it.
Okay. So we got another movie.
Yes, we do. And that is Carnosaur 3, Primal Species. And this one was released in 1996, the next year. International terrorists get a surprise when their cargo turns out to contain living dinosaurs. The Army Commando team now have to think fast if they want to prevent the extinction of the human species instead of the reptiles. The tagline for this film is, "Terror will never be extinct."
Right. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be this movie. This franchise will never go extinct. It's just going to keep going over the years.
Exactly. Okay, so this sequel was directed by Jonathan Winfrey. He directed Black Scorpion 1 and 2, Legend of the Lost Tomb, a TV movie from 1997.
Black Scorpion 1 and 2. That's like a Cinemax movie.
It looked like it.
I think.
Totally.
Anyway.
This was written, they did credit Rob Kirchner again.
Okay.
Who wrote the original story.
Yeah. And
the screenplay is by Scott Sandin, who has written TV movies like Ice Angel and Addams Family Reunion for TV.
Oh, one of the guys from the first movie, I think, was in...
Oh, Addams Family Reunion.
One of the actors in both of the movies, one of the movies that we watched last week was in Addams Family Reunion. But anyway, continue on.
I think so. Okay, cast again. Lots of cast in here. Lots of working actors who've been in a lot of TV, so I'm just going to go through them really quick. Scott Valentine, who plays Colonel Rance Higgins. He was also in Black Scorpion and To Sleep with a Vampire.
Sounds sexual.
Janet Gunn plays Dr. Hodgins. She was in The Nurse from 1997, which looks amazing, and I kind of want to watch it. The Quest.
She looked really familiar with Van Damme, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've probably watched that recently.
No, last night I watched Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer, and I watched Silent Rage with fucking who's with Chuck Norris, and it was like a horror movie, which is weird.
It?
Yeah,
That's weird.
But I was looking through some of the people, and I was like, oh my god, that movie, The Quest, came up again.
Oh,
and I was like, oh my god, okay.
It's a sign. It's a sign. Okay, Rick Dean, who plays Polchek. Of course, he was in Carnosaur 2 as a different character, and he was also in Tales from the Hood. Anthony Peck, who plays General Pete Mercer. This was actually his last movie. He passed away in 1996. But he was in The Hunt for Red October. He was in Die Hard with a Vengeance and Die Hard. And he was in Last Action Hero.
Wow, that's not a small list either.
Right, but they were minor
Sure,
characters.
yeah, he's a working guy.
Yeah, it was still big movies. Okay, Roger Halston, who plays Sanders. He actually hasn't done...
The top 1% of the 1%. I kept saying that when we were watching the movie.
That's funny. He actually hasn't been in much, but he was in Addams Family Reunion TV movie. Terry Vaughn, who plays B.T. Coolidge. She was in The Steve Harvey Show, Friday, and All of Us from 2003. Billy Burnett, who plays Ferguson. He was actually a member of Fleetwood Mac from 1998 to 1992.
Weird.
And this is his only acting role. So again, no budget for this movie. And Alex.
Well, there was a budget. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah, we just don't know what the budget is. No, they just made it on a whim. Whatever. And what did you think of Carnosaurus 3 Primal Species?
Yeah. Well, and it was called also Primal Species by itself because technically they weren't going to make this a Carnosaur film.
They didn't really need to.
No, because none of them really connect.
Right.
But this one is so much better to me, like miles better than 2. It's not as good as 1, but it does have some pretty ridiculous dialogue, which made me really enjoy it a lot more. It's a better so bad it's good film. Mm-hmm. You know, like where the second to me was just bad. But this is what I wished 2 was actually like. The dialogue is like super fast paced, like the whole movie is super fast paced and weird. Like cheesy fucking lines spout out of their mouths rapidly, which is kind of nice, honestly, because I really like that. Not like the crawl fest we got in part 2. But, so I'll take, shitty fucking fast dialogue over that any day, as long as it makes me laugh a lot. Even if it's cringy as fuck, I'm down. But it did feel like it got the feel of the first with the dinos in this one.
But more.
Right. Like they did the dude in the suit. Fucking thing. But the odd thing about this movie is that not only is the pacing sped up, but it has a Lethal Weapon or Steven Seagal soundtrack to go to it from the 90s.
Totally. Totally.
Or like late 80s, 90s, you know what I mean? Yeah. And they always have like all these like military drums and dun 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 dun, like, and all these scenes of like ridiculous long scenes of fucking helicopters or transports or
them running around the halls with their guns.
Yeah, like it's so stupid, but it's like kind of like fun. What's charming about it kind of added to the cheese vibe of it all. So like I was not expecting that kind of, I don't want to call it good, but better music for this kind of film. Right. Like it really filled the whole film up. It wasn't just like sporadic.
Right.
For better or worse. I don't know. Like you be the judge on that one. But this one had its score, but not really. Not good stuff like the second one, actually. Aside from like the makeup work they had on like a dead person when they were in this fucking scene, I thought was really fucking awesome. It was brutal as shit. But the dinos, they moved like they did in the second. But they actually show a lot more of them, of the dinosaurs.
Oh, totally.
Which, for better or worse, at least you see more of them, I guess.
And they had arms, like real arms.
And when they slashed them with their fucking brutal ass claws, it actually killed them.
Right.
Unlike the second one. which doesn't make any sense. But I would have rather seen a lot more gore on this one, like, always, but at least the flow was really good enough to keep me interested. And like I said, the dialogue and everything was so cheesy, it was fun. So, the story is really convoluted though. Like, they don't give a fuck what you think, and they just jump around from one pile of people to the next, and it's easy to get lost. I mean, I missed a key point in the story where I was like, wait, what is going on here? But it's not like we're watching Ari Aster film where you need to pay attention and actually like pick up clues in the film or something. It's like, no, this is a shitty movie, so there's no way I'm going to pay that close of attention to it. But I would say that this one, I would give it a 5.5 on the So Bad It's Good 90s straight to cheese, maybe even a 6. I would probably watch it again just because it's stupid and it would make me laugh. This is definitely not a good movie, but we're not rating this against Hereditary. That's why I call it the So Bad It's Good 90s straight to video cheese.
Exactly.
Score rating system.
Exactly.
So, odds are, I went online and everybody was like fucking 1. If I could rate it 0, I would. Or like kill the parents of the people that had these children who made this movie. Like, they were really angry, but I don't think it's that bad.
No.
Like, I think people just haven't seen as much garbage as I have fucking submitted myself to. Endure, yes. But yeah, which, if I had to put all 3 of these movies that we've seen so far in any order, I would say 1, Carnosaur. The second best would be Carnosaur 3, Primal Species. Third best would be, and last so far, would be obviously Carnosaur 2. So, what about you?
Oh, I agree with most of what you said.
Okay, we'll elaborate. She's like, I don't know what to say.
Going into this movie after Carnosaur 2, I didn't want to watch it. I was like, fuck, dude, Carnosaur 2 is so bad. I don't want to go. I didn't want to watch it, so my expectations were like really low. Yeah. I drank a bunch of coffee before we started watching it, so I wouldn't fall asleep.
You were like really excited, and it was like, oh man, I made a bad mistake.
Yeah, I made a mistake
with Carnosaur 2.
I should have mentioned this, but oh man, this was redeemed.
Yeah.
Like, this was redeemed. This was redeemed.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Like you said, it reminded me of like a blockbuster movie from the mid 90s, but it was like overdone. The action was overdone. The score was overdone. And they would do the close-up shots. There was one scene where they were just having an intense conversation, and they did these big close-up shots on the faces.
Yeah.
Like, going back and forth. I thought that was freaking hilarious. And their overacting was on point. Like, they did a very good job of overacting.
Oh my God. Like, everybody, even like the guy who you would never believe to be a tough guy was like, what are you talking about? Like, like, what? Shut the fuck up.
It was totally overdone. But I think, can it be overdone in a good way?
Because 100%. That's what's so bad it's good. It's all about.
Yeah, the dialogue was so bad. You could tell they were good actors because it was like, oh shit. Like, okay, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like, it was really good. I liked how this movie was in LA, and now you say since it wasn't supposed to be a Carnosaur movie, it makes sense. But I'm glad it was in LA, and they were on a boat, which was, I thought, pretty cool to have like the dino. But even though, like you said, the plot line got confusing because it kept moving through groups. Yeah. And then we didn't understand if the dinosaurs were like on the boat or in the ocean. Like, there was a scene where there was a little bit of confusion, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Because it was just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like I really wish if it would have had more gore, this would have been up there with Carnosaur.
Yeah.
The first one.
I really wish I wish it had more gore. But
that's why I have to bring it back down to 5.5, because it had a little more than average, but it was, because it's funny.
Well, I gave it a 7.
You gave this one
I gave it a 7.
And you gave the Carnosaur 1 an 8.
Yeah, because it wasn't as good as Carnosaur.
Dude, you've come a long... Let me just tell you, Christina, you have come a long way. I have forced you to watch shit that you do not like, but you have found a new passion for these garbage movies.
Yeah, but no, it has to be specific. There has to be a good way of doing the garbage.
Okay. I'm a little more particular about this one, but I did enjoy it. We had a good time watching it.
Yeah, we had a good time watching it. And it was only like an hour and 15 minutes. It was like really quick.
So this one
really
gets a 6.25 from both of us. Mm-hmm. So when it balances out, I guess.
And I would say, of course, Carnosaur 1's the best one, and then this one, and I would just skip the second one. You don't even need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. Don't waste your time, people. Just skip to 3.
Also, I just want to tell you guys that the Carnosaur 3 is on YouTube as well as the other one. A little heads up on it. I would pick the video on YouTube that just is called Primal Species.
Right.
Because there was 2 full movies on there that we found, plus, some Spanish speaking ones if you want that too, whatever.
It's nice that there's options.
Yeah, there is options on there. So, but this one, I would look for Primal Species it's from like 7 years ago. If you want to watch this one, it'll be the most clear picture because we started off with one that was from a year ago that was called Carnosaur 3 Primal Species, full movie or something like that.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was
we had
like
to stop it.
Below 240p. And this one was like DVD quality. Yeah. So we switched. I'd link to it in the thing, but I feel a little dirty about doing that. So just look for it.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
I don't feel bad, like I mentioned in the last episode, because we couldn't find these, online to rent. So it's not my bad. It's up on YouTube and I watch it.
But again, we're gonna buy them.
How?
If they ever come out, if they ever release, we'll buy them.
I would like to at some point. However, if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you can buy it. It's only $56 on Amazon on DVD. So, yeah. Not paying that.
Right.
I don't even pay that for movies I love, unless it's Dawn of the Dead, which is coming out. But anyway, there are 2 more films in this series, by the way, with different names, by the way. One's called Raptor from 2001, and that one's actually on Amazon Prime. So you can watch that for...
Did you say it's from 1991?
2001.
Oh, 2001. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm like, wait a second. Are we going backwards? What's going on?
Yeah, I didn't even realize it. And Don from Horror Mafia podcast, which you guys should check out, by the way, and give them some love, told me about it. He's been on the show, actually, before. We did some Asian horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Which we did it was a really good episode. But he told me about it. And I didn't realize it before. So he said that Raptor is like chock full of scenes from previous Carnosaur films. And so
I want to see it.
And from what I gather, in an attempt to sort of like piece all of them together in some sort of cohesive story.
What? Okay, maybe I don't want to see it.
But also, I asked him, I was like, is it kind of like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, where they just take all the scenes and put them together to try to make this story, and then they have like some other story going on in the background? And he was like, that's actually not a bad way to call it that, but he said it had a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So if you're interested, you guys can watch that one. It's not going to be the greatest thing, but it will fill us in on some gaps that maybe might tie it all together, I assume.
Or we could watch it for you if you want us to, but you have to tell us.
Plus, there is also the Eden formula from 2006, which he said is actually pretty good. So if you guys want us to review it, please let us know in the comment sections of any of our posts, or like YouTube, Facebook, like on the podcast website page, like
email,
SoundCloud, iTunes,
letters,
wherever you can. Let us know. We'll do it for you if you guys want us to, but I don't know if I can handle another 2 movies like that back to back next week, but we'll definitely do it the following maybe or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Soon. But let us know, okay? So now we're going to get into our trivia and sort of like things that I found about it, and then we'll get into our scenes and wrap this bitch up. So this film, Carnosaur 3, the film premiered in Germany during 1996 of November, but it did not have a premiere in America until January 1997, although the DVD had already been released. So kind of weird.
That sounds like it has something to do with money. Like
maybe, yeah. They probably got distribution rights. Right. It's cheaper or something.
Right.
But yeah, in the UK, Carnosaur 3 Primal Species was the very first Carnosaur movie to ever be released in the country.
Oh, wow.
So that's the only one they saw.
Wow.
Also, Rick Dean, who plays Polchek, had played Monk, obviously, like you said, in Carnosaur 2. whilst Michael McDonald, who played the police officer Wilson, played the small role in the evac team, the rescuers of the end of the part 2, and which you sort of mentioned in the cast, but I forgot. I thought they were both similar when I first watched part 3. I was like, God, these guys are very similar. And that fucking Rick Dean's voice is fucking, hey guys, so like, listen here. So you think you gotta, like, what?
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Also, at the end of the credits, there was something we didn't see because we were just like doing our own thing, but it said, the American Dinosaur Association monitored all dinosaurs' action. Scenes depicting violence to dinosaurs were simulated. No dinosaur was harmed or mistreated during the making of this film.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Stupid. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring it up. Some of the scenes in this movie, let's go over some of that. What is the first thing that you remember?
So, in the beginning, when, like, the terrorist guy, they were all dressed in black, and they were trying to raid the semi-truck, and then all of a sudden, they jumped to, like, a training scene, and then you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Where am I? Is this a training exercise, or
I got really confused.
Yeah, I did too. But then they opened up the, semi-truck, and they figure out, oh, there's dinosaurs in there because they start ripping everybody apart. And then all of a sudden, these cool bad guys were dead. That pissed me off.
Yeah, like the bad guy got killed, like that I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
because
cool bad.
And this is the part this is the part you missed, by the way, because in the very beginning of the movie, there's like a Jeep with like 3 soldiers in it, and then they're like in a convoy for like this shipment or whatever, and they get ambushed by a bunch of fucking ninjas or some shit like that, dressed in black.
Right.
And like the soldier's like, hey, I gotta piss, Sergeant, or whatever. And he's like, well, we're not stopping. And he's like, well, I gotta go. And he's like, can I piss off the back? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he stands up, pisses off the back of an army vehicle, and then and then they're all like laughing about it. They're like, yeah, yeah.
And I'm over here. Why didn't they show his dick?
I don't know. Did they? I don't
No,
know.
they didn't show his dick. I was looking for it.
I'm so disappointed.
You could see piss, but you couldn't see dick. They like hid his dick in the zipper.
Huh.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
She rewound it like 70
like,
times.
Where's his dick? Never get no dick.
All right, Christina, settle down. So all these guys get ambushed, and then one of the big bad ninja guys, the like main guy, he's like dressed like Neo with like sunglasses and a fucking trench coat and no fucking head wrap or anything that all the other guys were wearing, and he starts like indiscriminately just killing soldiers, and it's like pretty brutal. And the guy who was like pissing off the back of the truck is like followed up in the hills with his sergeant. And he sees the sergeant get shot in the head, and he's like, no! And the bad guy's like, yes! And shoots him in the face. And I cracked me up, dude. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, already, this is better than the last movie right now.
Right, yeah. And then you're just praying it doesn't go to shit.
Right. I was like, okay, so if they keep this kind of pace, then we're good.
Oh, they kept that pace.
But then, like you mentioned, they go to this other group where they're having like a training exercise, but they're dressed exactly like the bad guys actually ambushed the first group in the beginning. And it's really confusing, and it doesn't make any sense. They don't even address it. They're not like, we got to dress up like they're training people, like the bad guys, the terrorists.
Right.
They don't even address it. It's just confusing. You're like, wait, are these bad guys? And I'm sure they did it as a way to go like, gotcha. You didn't even think of that. And it's like, no, you should have told us.
Yeah.
It's not clever. But I was super confused about that. That when you mentioned they opened up the back of the truck, and the funny guy who was like, Yes, and like indiscriminately killing fucking soldiers. He gets fucking eaten by a raptor.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude.
What the fuck?
I was like, that's the guy. We needed to watch. Immediately when I saw that guy, I was like, oh, cool. So they got this new angle where there's like this big bad guy, kind of typical bad guy trying to operate the scenes and stuff and use, you know, they were trying to get plutonium and they found out that, or uranium, whatever.
Sorry, I wrote it down. That's the only reason why I knew.
He's trying to get that, and then they find raptors, and everybody dies. And then a new group goes in to find out what the fuck happened because they hear guns, like a police officer. And the police officers, like, see this guy running out of nowhere from the fucking raptor, and the raptor doesn't kill him, and they think he's crazy, so they bound and gag him and throw him in the back of the car. And they're like, we better go check out this warehouse or whatever. And he's like, what's up? And their boss comes and he's like, why is he all bound and gagged? And he was like, he was crazy, man. He was just talking crazy.
The guy's nuts.
The guy's nuts. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you don't do that as a police officer.
He's nuts. I gotta wrap him up.
And then he's like, okay, we're going to go check out the warehouse. And then the guy's like, talking to the bound and gag guy, he's like, stay calm, we'll be right back,
which is why the horror shot that's in the horror shot.
Yeah, exactly. Which they even it's like a joke that they come back to at the very end of the movie, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it's a significant part.
But of course they all die. Those cops die.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah, everybody just starts dying.
Which they open up another truck and I'm like, how the fuck did that one get in there?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it either.
Doesn't make any sense. So they die, and then it's the 3 remaining special forces guy, Kolchak, Rance, and some other dude.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I will give it a credit for, though, is that it doesn't mind moving on.
Yeah, which is a good thing, I think.
I mean, even if it's convoluted and doesn't make sense, at least it's moving.
Right.
But Polchak's voice, like I said, is just ridiculous, and they team up with some regular Marines. And this was one of my favorite scenes. I'm just going to mention this and then you can tell me yours. Polchak says he doesn't like taking orders from women. And then, which one of the women Marines is like, oh, hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, hello, nice to meet you. And she's like, so I hear that you don't like taking orders from women. And he's like, well, the reason I don't like, because every time you turn around, they're always on the rag. And I'm like, oof, God, Jesus Christ.
As a woman who is on her rag right now.
TMI.
I did not find that funny at all.
Oh, quit being triggered, you little snowflake.
Shut up.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a different time. So I give it whatever. It doesn't matter. Plus they're Marines. That's what Marines do. They give each other shit. They call each other names. It's a camaraderie, a brothership, a sisterhood of whatever. It's
that typical 90s thing where they could have just not had it whatsoever. And it probably would have been fine.
Well, but
it wasn't just the Marine part. It was the doctor who was also female. She also was getting shit because being a woman. And then there was every single woman, and I wrote this down too, every single woman in this movie got shit for being a woman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. They're women. I'm just kidding.
Did I mention I'm on my ride right now?
Christina,
not in a good mood.
I'm just saying, I think you're taking it a little too seriously for a movie that was written by a guy who is probably 60, 70 years old, who's writing from the 1940s in his mind. You know what I mean?
I know.
So I'm just saying, it's.
I know. For that time, it would have been nice to not have that.
Well, she gets her comeuppance on him anyway because she fucking insults him a bunch of times, then challenges him to a fucking arm wrestling. Yeah, and it's like...
Which the arm wrestling didn't make any sense.
And the music, oh my God. It's so cheap. Lethal Weapon, seaside beats from fucking Lethal Weapons, C-grade film below it. You know what I mean?
I thought it was great.
While they're wrestling. And she loses to him. But you find out that she's left-handed. So he was like, damn, she's left-handed. I'm like, oh my God. Nobody would think that. to kind of fill you guys in if you haven't seen the movie, they basically order them to trap the dinosaurs instead of kill them.
So they when they were trying to trap the dinosaur, well, I guess they went to the boat. Well, the part where they were trying to trap the dinosaur with the thing of meat?
Yeah, like they have regenerative cells. So their cells, like they end up killing one, even though they were told not to kill him. But they almost get attacked and Kolchak almost gets taken away. Remember, he's like, I think maybe it was when they were trapping them or something.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Find out that they can regenerate their tails, their limbs, and die. Come back to life, essentially. So they try to like trap them or whatever, like you said.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and they had that thing of meat, and they were trying to trap him with just a net. Oh my god! And it was the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
So, and then they had dynamite somewhere. I didn't understand that part, because then he had to take his remote control out because the dinosaur was coming, and then there ended up being like 3 dinosaurs, so I think they all died.
Yeah.
Like
the way that they try to trap it in this small ass room was just didn't make any sense. Like if these things can smell meat, they're gonna hear or see you hiding behind a cardboard box. Although I would assume, I guess the big chunk of meat that they put in the middle of the room probably smells a little bit more delicious than them.
right.
So, but you know,
These are advanced dinosaurs.
They're
These
smart.
are evolved.
they're learning.
They know when something's just a piece of meat and when something needs to die.
They're learning, they said in the movie.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny when they do try to trap it, but they end up killing the one, like I said, and they find out that they're regenerating and all that. It wakes up and it chews off the head of a soldier. And then one person's like, no. The colonel is like, is this what you call research?
Oh, that dialogue was
That
hilarious.
was funny, dude. Because it's like, it doesn't even skip a beat. It's just like, is this what you call research? Like his voice is just not fitting. But yeah, they do decide to go to a ship. We don't understand why, other than the fact that they're at a shipping dock where Japanese meat is coming in or out.
And the doctor says something about they're migrating or they're going to
Yeah, they're in their
nest.
migrating route.
Yeah, their whatever nest.
But then they somehow come up with this plan to catch them by freezing them with refrigeration because Polchek is like, yeah, we can do that. And he's like, wait, she's like, they are cold-blooded, so it could lower their fucking system so that they would be taken out.
Which makes no sense.
And they don't even address it.
Right. Yeah, and then they just didn't even do anything about it.
I don't even know why. And they get on the ship, and then they're like, where do we find the dinosaurs? And she's even looking at a map in the middle of the ocean of the land of the like area of where they're at. And he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, just looking for where dinos might go. And I'm like, in the middle of the ocean! How are you going to see that on a map? But that's the beauty of this movie, okay? I did get lost here, but...
I did too.
But of course, somehow, the dinos happen to be on the ship they're on.
Yeah, they were already on the ship. They just moseyed on up back onto the ship.
And
they were already there.
And they were on the ship for like a whole fucking night, and they didn't hear the fucking T-Rex in the bottom of the fucking ship?
With the giant nest.
Yeah.
And the mega T-Rex.
Like, what? But whatever. This is why it's so bad it's good.
Oh, are we to the nest scene yet?
Yeah, I mean, they did go down to the nest, and they start pumping. He's like, are those eggs? And he's like, him and the girl start pumping eggs, like, with the shotgun and
Start
shit.
shooting the eggs.
Yeah, and they're popping and shit like fucking critters or something like that.
I like that, because then the chick's like, what are you doing? Don't! And then all of a sudden, around the corner comes a mega T-Rex, the biggest dinosaur ever.
You mean animatronic puppet T-Rex.
Roar! It's all pissed off because it's little baby eggs.
Yeah, like they start shooting, and then the one of the Polchek gets his arm removed by the mama hand puppet.
So fun.
And then there was another scene after this because they get away from the T-Rex or something like that, and they go down a hall, and they're all like scared and freaked out, and they shoot rats. But these rats do not look like rats. They're the size of medium-sized dogs, and they look like fucking children's like stuffed animal happy creatures.
It looked like a stuffed possum. Like, not like a taxidermy possum. It looked like a stuffed animal that was a possum.
Oh my God, that was so bad.
It was pretty bad.
I was like, why did they even add that into the movie?
That was so pointless. Oh, there's creatures on ships. There's just regular creatures. We need to put this on the ship.
Yeah, why don't we just shoot these stuffed animals that are rabid?
You know what? I just had an idea. You know what would have been awesome if they would have done this to the movie? If they would have put them on a Scientology ship with the dinosaurs, like the dinosaurs needed to go nest on the Scientology ship.
First of all, you're never gonna get that off the ground because Scientology would sue the shit out of you.
Oh, we would call it something else then. We would call it like...
Or fucking kidnap you and fucking like... or bury you. I don't know.
They won't do that. They're losing money. They're losing their rep. Like, they're not going to be allowed.
Might be from all the murdering and fucking, like, kidnapping.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had a thought.
But they plan to pull a deep rising and blow up the whole ship with C4 in the fuel line. But they use a batch to pop Mama Puppet Rex's head first, which was kind of funny. I thought that was cool anyway. There was like meat chunks flying off of it. It was kind of cool.
I was like, why is the dino should be dying? The T-Rex should be dying.
Well, and then it's just down to the scientist lady and the Colonel, Rance, or whatever his name is, and they jump off and fall in love in the water after it blows up.
Nowhere, because you gotta have, because there's a woman on the ship that she has to fall in love with somebody.
Right, because that's what their purpose is. Guys, I hope you know I'm joking, but...
Oh, God.
So then that wraps up the movie, but no, wait, there's still one last scene left. And this was kind of cute. I thought it was a fun ending. This is what sold it for you, is that they show the stay calm, we'll be right back guy.
That guy.
He's still tied up after a whole day has passed. And this motherfucker is still tied up in the back of the cop car. And you see a fucking raptor come out of nowhere and kill him. Yeah. Which is cute and just stupid.
Yeah.
Like, for a movie that makes really no sense logically, it's so convoluted that you don't even care. It's a fun movie.
Right.
And
it was such a fun movie.
It's entertaining. But, like if you don't have a stomach for that kind of thing and you don't laugh at the stuff we're laughing at, you probably want to stay away from it. Yeah.
I really enjoyed Carnosaur and Carnosaur 3, and I really wish if I watch them again, it will be those two back to back.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No, it's not. It's not.
I mean, the averages, by the averages alone, if we watch the 2 next movies in the future, there would be 1 good one, 1 bad one.
Well, I hope so.
Because then it would be 3 good movies, 2 bad ones.
Right.
That's my prediction. What do you think?
I hope so.
Do you think that makes sense?
How many Howling movies is there?
Oh, too many.
And how many good ones is in the Howling?
Don't make me go back over that.
Okay,
I talk about that shit way too much. If you guys want to hear about Howling and our misadventures of fucking Howling universe, you can go listen to all of our episodes from last year with Brittany and I. I think it was Brittany and I, right?
I think so. I was lucky enough I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't even sit and watch them with you.
I think I had one person do like one of the episodes with me, one other person. But yeah, check it out. See what you think. I ain't going back over it. That ship has sailed and I ain't fucking ever riding it again. No, well, I probably will in the future.
Right. So it pretty much wraps up these movies?
Yeah, and we don't know what we're going to do next week, guys. So there's a couple of ideas that we have.
We have ideas.
But there's such, like, these movies aren't coming out until Friday. And yeah, we do record on Saturdays usually. But I would have to do a video that day, and I would also have to do fucking a movie. So we're thinking about doing Fantasy Island as a video and doing Joe Bagos, who was the director of Bliss.
Oh, God.
But this is more of a straightforward movie, not an
artsy-fartsy movie?
No, it's more, it's got similar style, but it's more gory. So I've heard. But it's called Veterans of Foreign War, or VFW. It's coming out on the 14th, so happy Valentine's Day. And then we would go see fucking...
Fantasy Island.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see what we're going to do.
Okay.
I do want to watch Fantasy Island, though. And I think a lot of people are curious about it, but not curious enough to go see it. necessarily. Not isn't in a majority of people. So I
Right.
think it would be a good idea for me to review it if we can. So, but we'll see. We'll let you guys know. Make sure you stay locked to our Twitter, our Facebook, our fucking Facebook group called Do You Love Horror, our Reddit. I try to keep up with that. I'm trying to add new stuff on there if you guys follow that as well. So, but yeah.
All the
social
socials.
stuff and our YouTube. Don't forget. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming by for our volume 2 of Ridiculosaurs. I think it was fun.
It was fun. Happy Valentine's.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a really great, lonely, sad, and depressing, happy, fun, joyous Valentine's Day. No, seriously, do something fun for you if you don't have somebody else to do it with.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you guys. And as always,
Long live the void.